we don't have to be just one type of person. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
like everybody got like two or three different sides to where I think with him, he was just more concerned with just coming off as guilty. He felt like we're more than that, right? But I feel like we still
Mm-hmm.
are that. There are some people that are that or that come from that, you know what I mean? And it's not that it's a fake thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? But yeah, like unfortunately, white people or white distributors, whatever you want to call, they push those type of books more than they'll push like maybe a love story about black people or a
Right.
success story about a black person. So it makes it hard because like you still want to. I want to talk about my ghetto side sometime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to hide that part, but I also want to be acknowledged or noticed for me doing positive things as well.
Right.
It's like
And
you're definitely torn between the two. I can see that.
yeah, it's a scary situation because it was like he was getting all kind of love for this bullshit that he wrote.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, damn, do I accept the love?
You are now tuned into Black on Black Crime.
Right. Disclaimer: no matter if we liked your movie, liked your show, or hated the show, or hated your movie, doesn't matter. We respect you, shout outs to you, and we support you, and we try to get everybody else to support you like we support you. Black on Black Prime, we stand on what we say though.
And just like always, if you didn't ask for our opinion, we didn't ask you to listen to it. So, sorry.
Click and turn it off.
Hey, best friend.
Be careful. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What do you mean be careful?
Yo, we back.
With another one of those smooth
Mm-hmm.
jams.
One of those. This one was American Fiction, starring what's dude's name? Because he's a good ass actor.
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright, starring Jeffrey Wright.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this movie is really true to life. Being that I write books,
Mm-hmm.
it's like put a shameless plug. Put turnerminded.com under my. I'm talking to the editing department. When you guys edit this, put turnerminded.com underneath
You heard
for
him?
for my book company. So when I say it's true to life, so I have I just talk about the main ones. I got a hood story called Just a Little Ghetto Love. And I also have Accidentally on Purpose, which is like a black love story. And Just a Little Ghetto Love gets off title alone 10 times more attention than Accidentally on Purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Every week. It's crazy. So with this movie, you could see like he doesn't want to write the bullshit. He doesn't respect the bullshit. And he kind of sees that the bullshit is working for Issa Rae's character. So he like, if y'all like the bullshit, I'm just gonna write the bullshit. But he's being sarcastic about it. It just happens to hit.
Right.
I'm kind of torn on the feelings about it, because in the movie you see that white people love it because white people love to see black people in shambles. Basically, white people love to see black people depreciate. Is that the right word? I
Black
don't
pain
know.
form.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So white people love to see that, but then like black people were like, I like this book too. Like when because his girlfriend was Max from Living Single,
Mm-hmm.
and she liked the book, and he like, how the fuck do you like this book?
Right.
But I like, so I wrote just a little ghetto love, and I love it, and I wrote accidentally on purpose, and I love it. But the stories do not coincide. They're two different, complete stories.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, especially the type of story. One is about hood shit, and one is about just being in love.
And you can technically relate to both, even though one might
Yes.
be a little more, what you want to call urban or whatever. I mean, we don't have to be just one type of person. You know what I mean? It's like everybody got like two or three different sides to where I think with him, he was just more concerned with just coming off as gay. And he felt like we're more than that, right? But I feel like we still are that. There are some people that are that or that come from that, you know what I mean? And it's not that it's a fake thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, like unfortunately, white people or white distributors, whatever you want to call, they push those type of books more than they'll push like maybe a love story about black people or a success story about a black person. So it makes it hard because like you still I want to talk about my ghetto side sometime. You know what I mean? I don't want to hide that part, but I also want to be acknowledged or noticed for me doing positive things as well.
Right.
So it's like you're definitely torn between the two. I can see that.
Yeah, it's a scary situation because it was like he was getting all kind of love for this bullshit that he wrote. And it's like, damn, do I accept the love?
He wrote that shit in like seconds. Like he was like,
yeah, man. it was all bullshit, and he knew he was writing bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of like a slap in the face. It's like when because we make movies, and the reason why we be like, because we don't want to ever make a slave movie, but if we happen to make a slave movie and that shit blow up, it's like, how do we feel?
Like now you're the slave directors. I mean, you get pretty much like I guess there was another word for typecasted or whatever, right? But in a director way or a writer's way, to where they're just like, wish what we want from you now.
Right. And it was interesting because Issa Rae's character wrote her book was on the same lines of the ghetto hood stupid shit.
Yeah.
But she turned her nose up to the book he wrote. And he was like, how in the fuck? Like, you wrote that shit. How you look at this and be like, nah, this is bullshit?
Yeah. I think she was trying to like, she can decipher the two or whatever. Like with her book, it was like a real experience. And with his book, I guess she could tell that he was just doing it to pander.
Right. So she saw the book. She saw the bullshit because she also writes the same type of bullshit. But in her opinion, it's based on something real. So it's not as bullshit as yours because mine is an actual story that happened.
Right. Yeah. That shit was called fuck. Well, first he called it pathology, and then he was just like, he was being an asshole to the people that was trying to buy the book, and he was just like, you know what? I ain't gonna put this book out unless y'all call it fuck. And then they accept it, and then the book is called fuck.
and I think that's a realistic. I think that's how the people that are not of this world really look at our shit.
Yeah.
They just see the price tag on it. This is going to sell.
Yeah.
It's edgy.
You know what's funny about this movie is that like the story was what it was or whatever, right? It's just like I like the story, but it's like I really like the actors more than anything. I feel like all of the characters, like the like when we talk about other movies, just like man, I didn't get to know the character. I didn't like the character, you know what I mean? Like I didn't fall in love with the character. I feel like every character in this was like they did their thing. Like every single character, whether it was the maid lady, whether it was the brother's character, you know what I mean? I feel like even though his scenes were like spaced out, anytime you seen him on screen, like he was doing something that like made him stand out.
Yeah.
Maxine's character and then Issa Rae's character was like, minimal too, but she stood out. Maybe that's because we liked everybody in here. That could have been a thing too, but
Right.
also felt like there was good there were good characters in this. And the story was I was a little upset at how they ended it a little bit. Like I got it. So it was like I got how, at the end, it was like he took that full story that we just saw and made it. He was trying to make it a movie. He was trying to figure out the ending. And it kind of like it went from, I mean, it's a good, kind of like it had funny parts, but it's not a comedy. But I feel like it felt like a comedy at the end.
So that ending, it reminded me of Have Plenty.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was because that's how Have Plenty ended. So Have Plenty, he's a book writer. It's damn near the same thing, but he wasn't right. It wasn't. This one was more focused on the book, and Have Plenty, it was more focused on what's going around him writing this book. What's going on around him writing this book. So at the end, it's like you see that he turned everything that happened into a movie, and then he gets the girl at the end. On this one, he doesn't get the girl, but I think I was fine with that.
Right. I was trying to figure out exactly because it's like first he goes up there and then he's like, all right, that's where I'm gonna end it. It's gonna fade to black. And then he was just like, nah, that's not good enough. And he was like, okay, he goes to the girl's house. And then, you don't know if they're together or not. They just, he was like, I got a confession to make. And he confesses to her, but you never know. They just pan out. And then the last one is that he gets shot. It's just like they accept that one. That's funny or whatever. He died. And then, he gets in the car. It's funny. Like I did like the part where he ended is like you pull off into the set. You see the slave nigga about to act in this new movie or whatever. He waves at him and shit. He's just like shakes his head and they just pull off. So I did like that part. I'm just not 100% sure. I don't like not knowing how that situation went. Like we don't know exactly what happened or what was.
Oh no, he said what happened. He said remember
he said he walked away or instead of what, right? Like didn't he say he left?
No, the dude was like, so what really happened with the girl? He said, I don't know. She won't answer my phone call.
Right. I guess I just don't like that.
I mean that.
I don't like that.
So the reason why I said I was cool with it. It's like you don't. I mean, you're not that you don't want, but normally they'll give you like Have Plenty. You get the happy ending. Like she showed up, she grabbed his hand, they're in love. And his ending was kind of like on Have Plenty. He was like, that's what I wanted, right? Like, that's how it's ended. But on here, it's like, nigga, she won't answer my call, so there is no happy ending. Like, she don't fuck with me.
I would have been okay with it just ending like it did the first time before he said, all right, cut. That was the movie or whatever. Like, it just blacks out. I'd have been okay with that. I'm okay with cuts. Like, cut offs, like, oh. Like,
I mean, but it's that
like you assume was about to happen. Like that girl, like you saw Max come in, so you know that she's there for him. So that's kind of closure. And then he's accepting this award for this book and is gonna kind of tell. So it's like it's closure, but it's kind of open-ended. But you know that everything is closing, if that makes any sense or whatever. Like it's you get everything in one without it actually saying it, versus like, all right, no, cut. He didn't get the girl. He didn't accept the award. It's like, what the fuck happened then?
Yeah, no, I think it makes it more realistic with him just being like, nah, I ain't talked to her.
Yeah,
I think and then like you said, him getting in the car, it's like, so the whole ending is it's just funny because he's battling with not selling out. Every angle he's trying to do, it's like he doesn't want this white man to win. But the white man ends up winning anyway. And then he gets on the cart and he looks at the slave, and the slave is like, nigga, ain't nothing, I'm not doing nothing different than what you just did.
Nigga, that was Lakeith Stanfield. Nigga, I saw that nigga, I was just like, that Lakeith? They trying to say that's Lakeith? Oh man.
So I'm cool with him just saying like she didn't answer my phone calls. Because it's kind of like, why would she? He was an asshole to her for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, he banged on her.
Yeah.
I was just like, how the fuck can you like this? This is bullshit. You know what I mean? And she got on the nigga's helmet.
When he hit her with the people like you, I was like, you fucked up.
Yeah, that's the kind of niggas that just say whatever the fuck is on their mind because they in pain. Like, nigga, don't talk to
Yeah.
me. I don't give a fuck what just happened to your people. Like, yeah. I understand, but you need to relax, bro. Yeah, she said something to him. I'm trying to remember exactly what she said to him when he was talking to her at the table before he left. It was
when
like
she said
she was
why she was saying she liked the book.
nah, she was just like you feel like you being like this dick is like artsy, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
or like different, you know what I mean? Like so I feel like some people are or a lot of people are like that or whatever. It's like you're different, so it's like you feel like you can be an
You can be an
asshole.
asshole.
I mean, like, cause you think it's like, oh, I'm an author and I can, you know, I'm I'm artsy or whatever. Like, nah, nigga, you're an asshole. That's it.
It's like you feel like I'm a creative, only I understand my world. You're not smart enough to get. You're not smart enough to see through my lens, basically.
Right. Like, nah, man. Like, relax, bro. Your
Yeah.
shit, your shit, all right. Humble yourself. She on this helmet though. She was just like, you ain't sold a book in woody whoop years. Hey, what are you talking about? You act like you done wrote millions of books. And
Yeah, like you Stephen King, nigga,
you know
sit
what I'm
your
saying?
ass down.
Yeah, hey, relax, bro.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to kill Tracy Ellis' character the way they did. Like
Yeah, that was different.
that was weird. It was. I mean, not weird. I just didn't expect it. It was kind of
No,
like a blindside.
you could tell that was like one of them things where it's just like, yeah, we want you in this movie. It's like, I'm shooting this other film. We're like, well, can you just do a couple of those scenes? I'll do a couple scenes, and then she just did it.
And you can see his world. So they show you a glimpse of his world. They're high class Negroes,
They got a beach house.
flat out. So him even writing that ghetto shit, it's like he doesn't even have the back. And I think that's what Issa Rae's point was.
Yeah.
Like I could, she basically like whoever wrote this book, I could tell you're not even from there to be writing like that.
Right. Like you're making a mockery out of real people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like you're almost worse than they are.
Right. And he saw so he's not from that world, but he's judging the fuck out of her book like this is ignorant.
Yeah.
But she probably comes from that background, like, yeah, it's ignorant to you, but this is how niggas really talk out there. Even though it was flat out,
it was
boy.
She was like, I was going to the rooms right now.
Man.
Like, don't nobody talk like that no more, man. Come on.
Yeah. So it's like they did have black people that talk like that, but it's like, damn, you gonna put it in the book? Fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. Nah, I did. I still enjoyed the movie. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, man, this is what me and Lamar were talking about. Like, you know, not selling out to, you know, slave movies or some bullshit or whatever. Like even, you know, I'm gonna touch on it for a second. Like even movies about like the LGBTQ community is like I don't know that life, so I ain't gonna write about it. So don't try to give it to me to write about, and I don't know about it. You know what I mean?
Right,
right. Stay away from it. But I'm not.
It'll be like us just doing that because that's a popular thing to do.
Yeah, like nah, I'm not going for what.
Yeah, we don't know nothing about the world. We respect the world, and we will leave that world alone because it's not our world.
Right. So it's like the slavery thing is just I'm over it. You know what I mean? I've seen enough slave movies. I don't get why we telling these stories because there's so many other stories to tell.
If I ever did a slave movie, it's not gonna be what nobody think. My slave movie is gonna be cold-hearted.
I feel like there could be a little bit more creativity that goes into these slave movies. I just feel like it's just like I don't want people leaving the theater because it's like most slave movies, like what we talked about, like you just leave like hating white people. And that's not what we want to do. You know what I mean? But it's like I was just watching a little bit of Till, and I was just like, this is some bullshit.
No, I haven't seen it. Won't watch it.
Yeah, it's just like nah. I don't. I remember what did I go see? I saw something and I was right next to a white man. Like theater was packed. And I'm trying to think of what it was. It was super racist or whatever. And I was uncomfortable because I was just like, if this nigga kinda laugh, I'm gonna knock his popcorn in the air. Because it was like you already offended what's going on and you sad about it. And you know, it do hit like a pain point, you know what I mean, when you see these images. And you just like looking at the nigga on the side, like he was stiff whole movie, like that nigga.
Yeah, he knew where he was at.
He was just like, man, I dare you to don't get up to pee, nigga.
Yeah, so slave movies out unless, boy, if I ever wrote boy, it would be completely different.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely felt the movie. Jeffrey Wright is always like a good actor. Like anything he played, like when he played Peoples, that shit was funny as fuck. It's hard to
that shit was fucking hilarious.
It's hard to know that he's the same. I mean, to think about he's the same person. Like, you best kill me, motherfucker.
Oh my god, that nigga said Egyptian cotton, motherfucker.
Motherfucker. That movie is hilarious.
But he went from that to playing Martin Luther King. It's like he jumped to a whole other side of the fence.
I liked him in Cadillac Records.
Yeah,
like he's been good in a lot of different things. But yeah, good.
He's a great actor. This is definitely a good movie. And like I said, just being a book writer, it's like the world. It's because I find myself doing on the low the same judgments when other people write hood books, and it's like my Just a Little Ghetto Love is not the same type of story as everybody else's, but it's like I find myself doing that same judgment to where it's like, stop writing this bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody got to be a killer and drug dealer. It's like, it don't have to be that. It's hood stories that's not that.
Yeah, I got a stereotype when it comes to those nasty books. When I hear like just book like the descriptive sex scenes and stuff like that they be having, I was like, oh, she was a hoe. For real.
But for a time, for a time, it seemed like the book only cared about that.
Yeah,
like it only, the hood books only cared about the sex scenes. It seemed like that for a time. It's like you had to sell drugs and it had to be a disgusting, very descriptive sex scene, like outrageous sex scene.
Yeah, it's like sex don't be like that, man. Relax. You was just a hoe. That's what you wanted it to be like, but it never went there for you. You would have liked it to be like that. But anyway, you want to rank it? It's an easy ranking for me.
Yeah, it's easy for me too.
I'm gonna give this movie right.
I'm gonna give this movie right. I'm gonna watch it again too.
Yeah, it was actually one of those. I actually watched it too. I watched it once by myself and once with my wife. It's kind of easy to watch the second time as well. But yeah, that was American Fiction. Check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. You got to have MGM to watch it though, or I think it's still in the theaters, kind of in some places. I don't know, but
I don't know either.
Yeah, I know it's on Amazon Prime if you got the MGM subscription with it.
Right, I did the trial.
Yeah, I did. I just canceled it yesterday. Absolutely. I don't have time for all that. I just wanted to see the movie.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe, talk about wherever if you there. Let us know how y'all felt about this movie, and did you like Half Plenty?
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube and Spotify and follow us on IG and TikTok.